What's good, guys? It's me, Gerald the Weaver, back again with another video. Okay, there's another new what if. One I should have made it yesterday, but I didn't want to. I had to do a lot of things yesterday, so I had to move a lot of things. So sorry about that. And yeah, I'm just a little bit angry, so I need to get my pictures. So I know this will probably be the last what if for this week. I also saw in the comments yesterday about what if I should make one of Midoriya or Asta, like as a Von Straya. I can't remember it. That would be interesting. Tell me in the comments if you guys would want that. Anyway, so this is what if Asta had um existence, anti magic exists erase. Like, you figure out the title. Yeah. So basically, Asta's power is a lot more stronger. It can erase magic itself or erase abilities. So wait, it's kind of like that. You'll see what I mean. It gets stronger over time. He's not able to do that right off the bat. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoy the video. Yeah. Okay, let's get started. Get straight into it. And I'll be making yeah, my one from the other day tomorrow, and one of my Midoriya ones. It's not going to be the ReZero Midoriya one. It's going to be the other Midoriya one. And someone's calling my phone. It's a scam. That's what it says. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoy the video. The video starts at 1:30. Asta always knew he had some sort of weird power because when he was young, he could erase things. You could say, like, they can. He's I don't know how to describe him. I guess he's on that Pandora stuff from ReZero or something. I don't know. He can erase things. And the first time he did it was like a small piece of a tree, and he's been trying to get it to get stronger, but he hasn't. Man, it happened. He hasn't been able to do it. And yeah, he can only take off a piece of a tree and make it erase. So he was waiting on his magic book after Yuno getting his, and he says, "Come to Papa! I need my magic book." Oh, oh. I'm sorry. Yeah, he just gets laughed at by everyone, and he says, "Looks like Asta didn't get a book. His magic must be too weak." And I thought his magic was supposed to be cool. He could erase something from he could erase a tree, a small portion of a tree. So he must have had like some sort of spatial magic. What a shame. And yeah, Yuno looks at Asta and says, "Is this really going to test Asta? Since I got this book, is he going to keep trying? I know he will, but let's see how this goes." Yeah, this is what Yuno is saying. Yeah, and he walks. And Yuno was waiting 10 to 15 minutes for Asta to come out, but Asta never did come out. And as Yuno was waiting, he runs into someone by the name of Censor Revichi. Censor Revichi then did that to Yuno. And he says, "You have a very special book." And yeah, Yuno, I almost said Noodle. And it's, yeah, he starts to squeeze Yuno's body more. And yeah, Asta finally hears what Yuno is saying. He snapped out of it, and he comes outside. And Asta then sees that Yuno is whatever that thing was for the last photo. I don't know what I did to Yuno there. Yeah, so he sees Censor Revichi. Like I said, Censor Revichi is a recurring character. And I'll be doing a lot more to my other characters soon. And yes, Censor Revichi says, "I censored him with my chains, and it seems like you barely have any magic in you." And yeah, this Asta is not close with the Lebe because you understand why. He has resistance. And yeah, Asta walks up to Revichi and he says, "You're going to disappear from this world altogether for what you've done to Yuno." And yeah, Revichi starts to laugh and he says, "Ha ha 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 ha." Wait. Okay, I just heard something outside my door, sorry. Anyway, Revichi just tries to use his creation magic to censor Asta, and Asta destroys his magic and starts running right towards Revichi. And his book starts to form right behind him. And yeah, Asta then punches him right in the gut, and a hole opens up where Revichi's stomach should be. And yeah, Revichi doesn't feel his organs, and he says, "What did you?" And he starts to cough up blood, and he says, "I'm not done yet." And yeah, Asta then punches both of his arms away, and that lets go of Yuno's chains. And yeah, Yuno's goes back to his normal form. And yeah, Asta was about to finish off Revichi. Yeah, he just took away his organs. His organs are still there, but they're erased, and it looks like he's taken them away. And yeah, Revichi is very scared, and he doesn't want to die. But came. Yeah, like I said, he came back from those chains, and he ran straight to Asta to try to stop him. But Asta cracked his fist back a little bit way too far, and yeah, it erased one of Yuno's fingers. And yeah, he kills Revichi and smashes into his face. And then after he realized that he just killed a magic knight, he says it was out of self defense. He attacked you, and Yuno is he's very far back from Asta, and he says, good grief, look what you done. Why did you do that? He was already done after the first punch. And yeah, Asta sees Sensor Revichi is like hella dead. Anyway, anyway, I don't think hella dead is a word. My bad, Jizzles. I'm sorry, I'm being so cringe right now. Forgive me. Don't leave the video. I need you guys. Anyway, yeah, Asta then noticed Yuno's finger is gone, and he says, "Where is it? Did I do that to you?" And yeah, Asta makes it reappear. And he says, "So this must be my magic. I must be able to. I get mad and then I erase things from existence, or there's something else to my power." And he sees that his book is right behind him, and he grabs at it. And it's Lucita's book, but Lebe's sword is not coming out. He sees a sword, but he can't pull onto it. So yeah, this Asta doesn't have the anti-magic sword yet. So he says, "What do you think I should do?" And yeah, is just saying, "We need to make a report to the not the Magic Knight captains." Okay, now we're over to Captain Yami. Captain Yami was sent to handle this endeavor, unlike Solid did. Yeah, Solid was in another What If I did. Yeah, but Yami came this time, and he says, "Why do I have to do this? He's not even a part of my squad." And yes, Captain Yami sees Asta, and he says, "So you did this to him. What did you do?" And yeah, Asta says that he was strangling his friend Yuno, and he just panicked and he just started punching him. And by the time he noticed that he was already defeated, it was too late. And yeah, and he says, "So what type of magic do you have to the point where you can kill a man in just a couple of punches?" And he says, "I don't know what type of magic I have. My book has a sword that's right here, but I can't touch it. I think it's the sword that's giving me this ability." And Yami says, "Your sword that's inside of your book, which you cannot pull out, that's giving you this ability, you think." And yeah, that's what Asta says. And he says, "Okay, I want you to do this for me. If you're, I just want to see how strong your ability is." And yeah, he says, he leans over into a tree, and he says, "Okay, punch this tree then. I want to see how powerful it is." And yeah, Asa says, "Are you sure?" And Yami says, "Yes, I'm sure." And yeah, so Asta punches the tree as hard as he can, and yes, it gets vaporized. And since Yami was touching it, it connected to him, and he lost his arm, and that's why he has his arm up in the air. He says, "What happened to my arm? I can feel it, but it's gone." And Asta says, "Yeah, that's what I did to that Revichi guy." And Yami says, "You have a very unique ability. I didn't think it would transfer like this. Well, can you give me back my limbs?" And Asta touches his Yami's hand and gives it back, but it takes a while for it to come back. He says, "Well, at least my hand's back for now. Though that's a pretty unique ability. You need to figure out how to control it, or you're going to hurt everyone around you." And he also gave back his finger, and he says, "If you ever feel up to it, you should become a magic knight. Just learn how to control your ability. I'll be waiting to be seeing you soon in the future. I'll tell them that this was a mere accident. Well, it kind of was, and he was kind of evil. I wish you wouldn't have killed him, though. Anyway, he shouldn't have been here to begin with, so it's his own fault." And Yami says, "I'll be reporting this news to the Wizard King. I shouldn't tell this kid this. Hopefully, he becomes a person with integrity." And wait, no, that doesn't sound like Yami. I'm sorry. He says, "Hopefully, this kid doesn't become dumb and just goes evil." Yeah, and then he starts smoking his cancer stick. Anyway, wait, I don't know. Would it be a cancer stick in the Black Clover world? They have cigarettes. I don't know if it gives. I think it gives like Yami some black power or something. His black dimension slash. I don't. His dark magic. Maybe it increases it because you need shadow. I don't know. I forget what I just said. Anyway, it's now. I'm gonna skip 2 months into the future. You'll figure out more what happens to Fonzel in episode part 6 or 8. You'll figure out more of that. Anyway, I'm going to the Magic Knight exams. And yes, as they were, and Asta were walking to the Magic Knight entrance, they ran into Rebecca. I just keep forgetting about her. Like, they ran into her in the first couple episodes. I just keep forgetting. And Asta, noticed that she has a lot of family. Anyway, I just like adding that for no reason. I just added that for no reason. Sorry. And he also noticed one of the Silvas were having an argument. Yeah, he's talking about Nazo. Yeah, I almost forgot his name. Anyway, yes, Yami is already up there because he wanted to see if the kid would be there. So he got there a little bit earlier, and he says, "So there's the kid I want." Yeah, he says that in his head, and he says, "Fenbro and Gordon, look, there he is. He was able to take my arm away in just one punch. So he must have gotten a little bit more stronger since then." And Fenbro and Gordon says, "He must be very powerful." And the other captains were looking at Yami and saying, "What do you mean he was able to take your arm?" He says, "He killed one of the I had to investigate an incident, and he killed a magic knight, but it was the magic knight's fault. It was he was killing his friend, so he did it out of self-defense, and he destroyed his body by erasing it. So just imagine what he could do if he's able to erase magic altogether. That would be one powerful kid." And everyone seems quite now interested in Asta, but they see that he has a couple of birds around him because of the anti-magic sword. So that's why he has birds around him. So he must, So Yami says, "But he shouldn't have birds around him. I saw him with my own eyes. He punched the whole tree out of existence." Well, I'll have to see more about this. So everyone would have their eyes on Asta now, all the captains. And Sake says, "Don't worry, Asta. You might have birds around you, but I will still fight you." And Asta says, "Oh, thank you." And so they go into their battle stand, And you know how Sake gets. He starts to bath mouth Asta. And this Asta, um, yeah, this Asta still gets bullied like the other Asta. So he starts to get mad too. And he says, "You're going to regret tricking me like this, Sake." And yeah, Sake says, "Go and do your worst." And Sake puts his prison up. And he says, "Bah! There's no way you can break inside of it." And yeah, Asta does his Hajime no Ippo, and he starts bobbing and weaving and doing the what, I forgot what style it's called. Bobbin, no, the ducking Hajime no bob and weave. Wait, no, oh crap, I messed up the joke. You know what Ippo does? Dempsey roll. There we go. Yeah, he does his Dempsey roll. Yeah, so Asta does his Dempsey roll. Actually, that would be a cool what if. What if Asta was in Hajime no Ippo? I know he'll body everyone, but that would be cool. Anyway, so Asta then he does his Hajime no Ippo, and yeah, he destroys the prism with 5 strikes. He hit it on the left side, and then he moved over to the right side, and he kept doing it until the prism broke. And he then punched I was about to say Revichi's leg, Sake's leg, and it stopped existing, and he fell to the ground. And he says, "Where's my leg?" And yeah, I was about to say Ippo. Asta then punches him right in the face, and then he keeps punching him. And yeah, the Magic Knights, in this, other Magic Knights, they stop Asta before he can fully kill him. And yeah, Yami then puts his sword right at next to Asta. And yes, so Yami stops him by putting a sword right there. And he says, "You need to relax, kid. He's already defeated. Like I said, you need to calm yourself. Just because you get angry, you shouldn't go and try to beat them to death." And all the Magic Knights captains see that how strong Asta is, and they don't want to get him. They think they probably won't be able to control him. And yes, so Yami says, "I want you, kid, but you're going to need to try a little bit harder. Do not use your magic for the rest of this event. I'm pretty sure you can handle this." And Asta sees what Sake's body looks like, and he then restores his his body. Besides one of his leg, he doesn't know where his leg is. Yeah, so this Sake is gonna have to get a robot leg. So this is robot leg Sake. And yeah, so Sake just puts his magic onto his leg, and he walks away from Asta and apologizes. And yeah, he just runs away. And yeah, Yami starts smoking his cigarette again. He says, "Good grief." And yeah, he walks up to the stands and jumps up. And he says, "The kid's mine. He's pretty interesting. He's going to be something, a good captain one day. I can see it." And yeah, all the other captains, like William, just looking at him weird, and he says, "He seems a little bit too violent." And yeah, the other captains were ignoring Asta. And basically the same events happened, but yeah, Revichi still is dead, and yeah, Sake doesn't want to fight Asta ever again because he's traumatized by him. And yes, Finral and Gordon and Yami and Asta teleport to the to the Black Bolt headout. And Asta says goodbye to Yuno after being chosen for the Black Bulls. And yes, so Magna then sees Asta, and he challenges him to the initiation. And Yami says it's going to be pretty easy for him. I don't see why we need to even do it. And he says it's tradition. Now,